I'm starting to feel anxious. Like,
are you
anxious? And I was like, oh, because now I'm processing everything that I had with my astrology reading, which was like an hour before.
Oh, okay. No wonder. Well, welcome anyway. We'll try to bring you back to the ground for now.
So, well, double sign. Stop doing that.
That's right. So welcome to Heart and Soul Connected. I'm Aley, and I have Adrian with me today from Red Lentil Healing, and I'm thrilled to have her. We had lots of plans that didn't go as they were supposed to, but that don't matter because we're here now.
Yeah.
And tomorrow is
having me.
Oh yes, and tomorrow's your birthday, so happy birthday!
Thank you. My last year in my 30s. This is the best way to kick that off is with being with my sister from another mister, because we have a mutual friend. Good. And I was like, if she's anything like you, I'm gonna love her immediately. She's like, you're actually gonna love her more. And then, like, from the first email, I was like, sister from another mister. I love it.
That's awesome. Well, that's a great decade. I think my 30s were really cool. I didn't mind turning 40. 50 was a little traumatic. 60 was like, WTF, I'm here. I can't do anything about it. You know, there's no big deal. But anyway, yeah.
I'm walking into this one like, because my friends had warned me, because I'm a year younger than everybody I graduated high school with, and so I'm still good friends with some of them. They're like, just giving you a heads up. There was something about 39 that just felt weird. It just felt dirty. It was like, okay. Okay, yeah, because you're not at 40, but you're not in your early 30s either. So you're just kind of like,
that's right.
Transition.
Think of all the wisdom you have now, Adrian. You know, all that wisdom that
And what I actually is, and I'm like, spirit willing, the wisdom that I will continue to gain throughout the years, and that's what makes me excited.
Oh yeah. The really. You know, it's traumatic in some ways when we turn these ages, but they're just numbers. And we have so much more to grow and so much more to, to learn. So
it's just a little number. It's just this little.
It's just a number. It's just a number. So we got Sharon Sipe and Cat Mama's here. And Teresa Baltazar, Janet. I usually just say hi to everybody. And Starfish says, I love Red Lentil Healing. Awesome.
Hello and thank you.
Yes. And there's Purple Elephant saying hello to us. And Butterfly Kisses. Seascape. I love the way she spells Seascape. And I love that little dog that's on there. It's so cute.
Dog pounds. Hi, Libra.
Sherry's here. And Libra lady just had her birthday.
Happy belated birthday,
Libra lady. A couple of weeks ago. Yep. And so if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to miss anybody, but I love you all, and I'm glad you're here. Hi, Melinda and Ron. I'm glad you're here with me and Adrian. It's been a long time coming, and I've been excited about it.
It's worked out perfectly. So thank you.
It did. Spirit knows what it's doing. So thank you so much. Thank you. I trust that very well. So I want to know where the name came from. Do you like red lentils?
Actually, I think I've had red lentils. I can count on one hand how many times I have. Obviously had red lentils. So I have a really good, I have been doing energy work for, oh my gosh, years at this point, almost, I think, a decade. And I'd always just done it because I was just, how do I channel whatever this, I can hear dead people. That's not fun sometimes, but it is what it is. I know when things are going to happen. That freaks me out. And so the way to kind of calm that was to start learning energy work and getting into it. And then I have been doing it for my friends for years. And finally they were like, gotta start a business. You got to do it. At least let us pay you, do something. So it's okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, I went to my friend who is a branding genius, and I called her. I was like, okay, how much for a consult? I need naming help. She's like, nothing. What are you doing? I was like, okay, I'm finally going to do the business. What's the name? She went, Red Lentil. I was like, why? She's like, they're delicious and they help you poop. And I don't know why.
It's a release. It's a release. That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
It makes me giggle. Done. It's been Red Lentil Healing ever since. And that's
I love it. I absolutely love it. We were trying to figure out this weekend. We're just going back and forth with this office thing we're doing. And somebody finally came up with it, and it was Harmony Health. because my husband's a chiropractor. And that way you can bring in other people, you know, you can bring in acupuncturists or whatever. And so, you know, when you know when it's right, when you hear it,
because it's that calm feeling. Like it's a calm but excited at the same. Because when you said harmony health, I was like,
ooh, yeah, we want our health and harmony. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the order, because you can't say harmony, you can't do it any other way. It's harmony health. It's like
harmony health. Yep.
So symbiotic. Yep. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yep. I absolutely love the name. And when I picked my own name for this channel, it was like it came and that was it. You know, that was, even though it's long and you know, I still,
it has to fit your personal brand, your
personal thing.
You know, it's like anything that makes you poop makes me giggle, and that it's my personal brand.
I love it. Oh my God. It must be a Libra thing or maybe a you and I thing, but sometimes I'll end up talking about that kind of release. And a lot of people go, oh, we don't want to go there. But
it's kind of gross. So I'm like,
my husband always says, it's just a normal biological function.
It happens, right? So
absolutely. So how long have you, did you start out on YouTube or were you starting sort of, no. Okay.
Business. I've only done YouTube. December makes 2 years. So I have the business. I did it backwards. Like most people kind of do YouTube to start the business. I had the business. And then was like watching a lot of YouTube astrologers. I was like, and particularly political, tarot readers. I was like, and I got very lucky in that I did a couple videos, and people that I were watching were like, that I was big fans of, were like, Adrian, come live with me. Let's do this. And it just, been so grateful.
And you just jumped into the fire. Yeah.
And
I give for you, Adrian.
All the props and credit. Anybody who used to watch Shallula's Tarot, Johnny from Tarot's Apprentice, Becca from House of Lenormand, Jen Lynn, just, you know,
that's great.
Just getting up and carried along the way. So, and a lot of viewers here that we share viewers. So thank you guys.
Sure, of course. So, and you know what? I love it because it isn't really competition. It's just a collaboration of souls who do a little bit different things. And yes, we have an awful lot. And so we also have Raw and Unconditional Love here, who has a great channel. And we also have Miss Sharon from Nasty Women. Nasty Women. Boy, we like those nasty women.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And Melinda Dutcher has a channel too called False Teeth Real Tarot.
I know.
Isn't that great? Yeah.
I was like,
I know. It's wonderful. So what is your expertise? What would you say is the thing you like to do the most? Is the tarot or astrology, or
it's the actual talking about your energy system? So getting into depth with the chakra system. I just have this philosophy that your chakra health is just as, if not more important than the physical health. You cannot ignore the other, one or the other, because they're intertwined. Everything's energy. And so really working with clients and just teaching. I think that teaching aspect, because we were talking earlier about you teaching, it's like it's like I have to help in any way I can. People,
I think we all feel called to do that. I really do. And you know, we have different areas maybe that we do it, but it's just all the same.
The whole same
desire.
Helping people help themselves heal is like, I feel like that's the contract that I signed.
That's the contract. You're absolutely right. Yep.
Then very second tie, though, I will say, is the shamanic sound healing. The first time I went to a sound bath, I was like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And I have invested so much ungodly amount of money in bowls and gongs. But I literally leave this earth. And I
bet you do. So you do that kind of thing on Zoom for people or something? Is that what you do?
Yes, I do.
Well, that's great.
People are like, and I love it when they, because I will have, when I do the sessions on Zoom, I'll have people, go lay down, turn your camera off. I'm going to check back in the end, turn your camera on. It's a little selfish because I know when they come back at the end, they're like,
they don't want to move.
And I'm like, got another one. Awesome.
Oh, that is so good. Susan Lynn talks about this all the time. She doesn't do the sound baths, but she recommends the sound baths to everybody all the time. She said they're the best thing she probably ever does. If she might act, I don't know if she goes to the place or not, but anyway, I think it's great. We can do it from a Zoom distance or whatever. And I would say everybody needs to check out Red Lentil for the shamanic sound bath. Oh my God. Yes.
Somebody playing a personal concert for you. You can just tune out. It's just so relaxing.
Wow. Well, I'm going to be checking out and letting you know. I want to do this too, because this sounds fabulous and I need it. But I'm going to be out there.
That's right. That's where you need to go. Don't worry about
where
Earth.
You need to go.
Earth will still be here. It's supporting your body as you're laying down. You'll come back to it just for.
That's right. That's
for
right.
An hour.
Yep. And whoever knew Captain Kirk would actually go up in space today?
I thought my uncle texted and I thought he was like
joking.
Star Wars stuff. He's a techie. And I was like, oh no, that actually happened. Where the heck have I been all day?
90. He's cool. 90. He's 90. Yeah, I know.
But how inspiring is that?
I know. And he walked up all these steps. He got up to the top. He sat down. He was very nervous. And he wasn't afraid to say so. Yeah. But he was hugging Jeff Bezos afterwards, and he was saying, oh, my God, that was the best thing I ever did, So, yeah, he deserved it if anybody did.
Let everybody know. Yes, you. Stop with the what I heard from that was stop with the self-limiting beliefs.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
can do anything you set your mind to. Yes, now, not all of us are gazillionaires who can go to space.
Right.
But a 90-year-old man did that.
Yep.
So stop.
I know.
Whatever you have in mind, that if something you can't do, that's impossible, it shouldn't happen.
You're crazy. Change your mind. Yep. Change your thoughts, change your life. That's right. Yes, that's great. Thanks for sharing. I just pulled this up because a dozen cats' father-in-law was he had a bacterial infection from chemotherapy, and he was not doing well the other day. And we've been sending him lots of love and healing energies, and he's off the ventilator now. And I just wanted everybody to thank everybody that was doing that, because that's what we do. We stop and we do something like that if people need us, Yeah. So, wow. Is there anything else I need to see here before I move on and ask more questions? So you do the sound baths and you do the oh God, this is funny for you, Adrian. Deja vu. When you've seen this before. I love that.
Meow to you.
I know. Hi, Pure Visionary. It's good to see you. Oh, all right.
Sandra, and thank you for always, Sandra, you're always so supportive with the products. So thank you so very much.
Oh, that's good. Yes. What did she say? Something about having a sound bath? Oh, good.
I have a product line, and she very recently purchased a solar plexus chakra kit. So I'm so glad you got it, and I'm glad you're doing it. So thank you.
So tell us about this, Adrian. Tell us about it.
Another thing I stumbled into was just like, I swear I was like a doctor in a previous life, because I have what 6-year-old asks for the book Home Remedies for their 7th birthday? That's abnormal. And I was like, no, I want to learn how I can use other stuff to heal. I don't like medicine. And my parents were like, okay. I was like, nobody stopped then to be like, she's going to be weird. We should keep an eye out on her, but whatever. So another thing I've just been doing for years, making products. I love essential oils and the smells and the therapeutic.
Oh, yeah.
They see some clients and they're like, can I buy one of these from you? And I was like, I guess. And then.
Wow. Yeah. So do you have a website?
I do. If you go to redlentilhealing.com, you can book an appointment with me if you want to get a tarot session, a chakra healing, or you can buy products, but it's all on my website, redlentilhealing.com.
That's awesome. Very good. Well, I wanted to tell you, this wasn't really planned to be one of those, but I have this series that I'm doing on the Cat Mama inspired, which was resilience through fascism and plague. how we all dealt with it here on YouTube, and how we found our community here. And it sounds from what you're saying with your website as well, your community has grown and grown, and as you say, we have a lot of the same people in that come and listen to us on different channels.
Tell me, so how what is the main thing for you that you have noticed the resilience through? I love how you said the resilience through authoritarianism. I just made that
right up. Fascism.
Fascism, because
that's what she came up with.
What is the main thing how you have stayed resilient through this?
Initially, I came to YouTube as a subscriber. I mean, I've been looking at YouTube videos my whole life, but you know what I mean. When you come more often, it's a different world
going from viewer to channel.
It is a different world, but it's beautiful. It really was nice. When I came here, I was looking for an answer because I was I just thought, I don't know what I'm going to do if this man gets reelected. I'm going to want to kill myself or go to a different, I don't know,
Right.
And so what started was I saw Lilac Lantern, and then I saw Linda and a lot of other people, and what they were talking about gave me hope.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we were all home for COVID. And my husband wasn't working because he has a clotting issue, and he hadn't had a shot. We didn't want him working at that point in time. So we asked, what should he do while he's at home? And so Andrea from Lilac Lantern said, "Oh, you ought to open a channel. What do you want to talk about?" And this and that. And I said, "Yeah, I'll help you," to my husband. Yeah. Because I'm busy, Yeah. So he stayed for about a month. And it just wasn't his cup of tea, I guess. I don't really know. And so I just said, well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to but when I started, I didn't really know where I was going because I wasn't a tarot reader. I wasn't a psychic. And now those things are coming more. But I've studied metaphysics for 45, 50 years. Yeah. So, it was a really something I wanted to do. But the resilience came also when I had this community, and they were so kind to each other, helpful to each other. They're in the chats. They have their own relationship there. They have their own relationship with everything else. And the kindness that I saw, and all the people that I've talked to, like yourself or, other readers, everybody's always willing to reach out and lend a hand and collaborate. And community. It is. It's like this was a planned community. This was always planned. And we just all met finally. Yeah. How about you? What do you think?
That's a good question. I had a conversation. My dad is kind of like a. It's weird. I know. I don't want people to think like, oh, you have a really like a daddy's girl or he got daddy issues. No, like
no. We're not going to judge you, Adrian.
We used to not get along, and now he's one of my best friends, and I think that's both of us.
Cool.
And him and both of us. And so I'll just call him sometimes and be like, he's a philosopher. And I'm like, dude, like, tell me, give me a nugget. Give me something that I can.
Yeah.
And I remember we helped each other at this period. And I was like, Dad, and it was right. My height of just frustration was about summer of last year with COVID and just the complete resistance to instill now. But it was a height. My frustration was last year. People still in denial that we're in.
I know. Idiocy. Yeah.
My dad was like, and I just had this realization because it was like the George Floyd,
yes,
COVID. It was just a lot of things. And I just kind of like had a moment of vulnerability. I said, Dad, I have finally accepted I will never see the change that I want for this country in my lifetime. And he said, I'm going to give you a little nugget. He said, you can't give up hope because that hope that you have in you, you're going to pass. He's like, you probably won't. He said, but I also didn't think I'd be alive to see a Black president. You never know. And I was like, you know what? That's true. And he's also like, and you have to keep that hope because that hope is going to trickle.
Even if it's a small little thing that changes, that's the hardest thing. Yeah.
He said, you have to keep fighting because that fight and that hope you're going to give to your niece and nephew who are then going to carry that flame. And that
correct.
And he's like, whether you like Jesse Jackson or not, he's like, it took me decades to realize when he said, keep hope alive. That's exactly what that means. It's keeping that fight, keeping that integrity going. passing it to someone else, so that energy, that vibration continues to go and that
to go up.
Generations forward will benefit from that small glimmer of hope that you continue to have during your lifetime.
Yes, and absolutely. That's beautiful. Boy, I'd love to meet him. He sounds like a great guy.
He's a pretty dude.
He is. I love philosophy. Absolutely love it. Yes. Wow. You know, back in, what was it, 76, I believe, Jesse Jackson was on the ticket. And that was the first year I could vote. And guess what? I voted for Jesse Jackson. I was probably the only white woman in New Hampshire that ever did. But I don't know. I just felt like he knew what he was doing. He was a strong person. And then I remember seeing him at the Obama speech when he won. And he was standing in the audience crying.
Like a little French.
Oh, yes. It was, oh my God. It was just beautiful. And now, of course, we have an African-American vice president and also an Asian. She's Asian as well. So, wow. Did we ever think we'd see that? So I guess we do have to keep that hope alive. You're right.
Because it keeps that, as we were talking before the live stream, tapping into that 5D energy, getting to that higher vibrational energy to keep it going, so we don't just get bogged down with the icky.
Yeah. So let's talk about that, and you can tell the viewers about it too, because I think it's fascinating. We were talking about the energies of the retrograde. We were talking about the ascension and some of the other things that are going on right now. And we've talked about it before, or not you and I, but probably separately. But she got a real interesting message.
So tell me what, So I was talking to a very good friend of mine who's an astrologer. It is not, those of you who watch, it wasn't Lauren through Lauren Margulies. It was another friend of mine, Gina. I've known Gina for 10 years. Gina is fantastic. And so Gina and I always just keep it we're straight shooters with each other. And we were talking about how there's just been a very visceral, very live attack from just a not so pleasant energy, and it wants everybody who's 3D, which is those of us in this meat suit. The goal is to kind of keep us in a pissy party state of mind, if you will. That's the most pleasant way to put it. Kind of especially with this retrograde right now, having us stay deep into negative thoughts and being very, very thoughtful about making sure that we keep that 5D energy, that higher vibrational energy going.
Right.
And she's like, we're not out of retrograde until Sunday, but it's like at a weird time Sunday. So technically it's kind of like Monday morning.
Yeah. And then there's a little bit of a drag afterwards. Yeah.
Like even on East Coast time, it's not until like 2:45 Monday morning that we're officially.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Retrograde. And so just making sure that, especially these last few days of this retrograde, for every thought that you have that's a little ill, follow it up with 2 more thoughts that are positive. And it could just be as basic as like we were talking earlier, it's like, this retrograde has been really expensive, but I immediately was like, but at least I have the money.
You at least, it's always looking at the brighter side of it. It may be negative, but there's always some golden kernel in there.
In there. And so just the advice that I'm going to give to you all that she gave to me. Thank you, Gina. Anybody who's in Shreveport, Louisiana, she does virtual as well, but Life Center, she is absolutely, she's a dear friend of mine. I've, like I said, known her for years.
Wonderful.
Stay in the 5D. Think high vibrational. Keep that energy high, because the attack that is happening is to keep us materialistic, keep us focusing on the negative, keeping us in the instead of the abundance mindset, keeping us in the what we don't have scarcity. That's the word.
Scarcity mindset. Yes.
Word I get. Yes. Scarcity mindset. So just be cognizant of that.
So yes, and I was even talking about seeing Richard Quest, who's on CNN, and he talks about the supply chain issue. And, when we might have to pay more money for food or whatever. But you know what? Again, turning it around, we can say, well, this has happened before and it's been solved before. It will be solved again. Right. And maybe we just change what we eat or change what we buy. And, because thinking about my mother on ration cards when she was a young woman with my brother and during World War II. And, all she had was the basics like sugar, flour, and that was it, or milk. And a lot of people even drank the powdered milk, that they made and stuff. So absolutely. And
let's add something to that. Let's keep on this topic for a second. I want to add
something
to that, if you don't mind.
No.
Because I remember even it was late last year or maybe earlier this year, seeing a lot of well-intentioned people being so frustrated about people not having enough, the food crisis. How do we help? And I was like, let's take that anger into doing something. Yes, we're thinking about supply chain and how we're about to start paying more. There are some people who barely could get by from the beginning.
That's right.
It's something that we as humans can do, as an individual can do. Can I go, if I have the extra, can I buy an extra roll of toilet paper and then take it to my local bank?
Local shelter or whatever, or
something
food bank.
We can do instead of using that to get angry, because we want, and that's again taking that message that
and we're being sucked back down when that happens.
Instead of going back down and getting caught up in that swirl, can we take it to the 5D? Can we elevate that using that energy and that anger and that fear even to elevate a little higher? I was just that hit me when you were talking.
That's awesome. No, I agree with you. We do have to. There was somebody. There was a woman that I met, and she was going through a really hard time. And I saw on her Facebook post like a day or two later, thank you to the woman who not only bought some groceries for me, but also brought me some beautiful flowers. Yeah. Everything, just the gratitude was amazing. And then Catherine Moore, who is on here from Miss Tarot, MIST. She just lost her dog. It had to be put down, and community rallied together and helped her out. So, and even a dozen cats was talking about her father-in-law, just sending out that. Maybe we don't have the money to do that, like you say, but it doesn't take money to send love and gratitude and help to other people.
Just to help. Just staying in that's the message. I really am. It just hit me like, you know what? Make sure. Even me, the healer. But
we all can fall back. We can.
We're human first. Always making sure, as much as I try to always, for every negative thought I have, course correcting and going to the positive, making sure I'm extra intentional of being in a higher vibration.
And when I've gone to see Esther Hicks, and she talks about canceling that that bad thought. Don't put anything into a negative, put it into a positive thought. But it's we go along with our day, and something happens, and we just turn, and we have to stop ourselves now. And sometimes that's not. Some days are harder than others, but I think absolutely great idea. And yes, of course, we do need to do that. So.
I feel like I've hijacked your live stream. I'm so sorry.
No, of course not. This is called riffing. This is what I do. I riff. I go from one topic to another. Somebody might say something over here, and then no. Not on my channel. You can say whatever you want.
Back.
No, you will. You will be. No. I think it's wonderful because it isn't just question and answer. It's got to be more give and take than that.
Okay. I have another question for you, if you don't.
All right.
Okay, so my message from Spirit today that kicked me in my rooster tooster light bulb moment was this keeping it at 5D ascension. Think about it for a second. What would be your rooster tooster, kick you in the rooster tooster spirit message for today for everyone?
It's funny, just before we came on, I've been going through this period where I don't know if I'm going to get financing. So I pulled a card. It said, keep positive. Okay. And that's exactly what you just talked about. But some of the other things that have kicked my rooster tooster, I guess, it's interesting that it was the 4D pulling us down from the 5D. What about the 3D? Are they sucking down? Are they grabbing up and trying to take the 5D down or the 4D down as well? Because they're the ones stuck in the past.
Yeah, I think that's more of what it is. What you just said. So
Wow.
What she told me. I was like, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking, I'm just thinking of the way we talked a little bit before we came on, and we said that, the 3D, I guess, a lot of the 3D think that we should go back to what they called the good old days, but they were never good to be, like you said. So what you said was point on today, and they weren't as good as you thought they were. And were they ever really good? But we do that. I remember my son, he's just a sweet, I love him dearly. He's in his late 30s now. So, but we went on a vacation, and it wasn't the best vacation. There was a lot of complaining and whining, not from him, but from other people.
Okay.
And, we roll our eyes. He and I always had this thing where we'd roll our eyes, he's a Libra. What can I say?
Okay. Libra's permanent facial picture is.
I know. So anyway, we came home and we were like, well, it was okay. It was okay. So a couple of years later, he said, remember when we did this? We went here and we did this. I had the best time. I'm thinking, where was I?
That's not how I remember that.
So that's exactly what I'm thinking when I'm thinking of these people. They're saying, oh, it's so wonderful the way it used to be, or how it was, or whatever. It's not. It wasn't. It's your mind is thinking differently at this point.
Because here's my thing. And again, I'm talking about 30 plus years before my parents even thought of conceiving me. We're afraid of a nuclear war. Every day you had to practice hiding under a desk, which does absolutely nothing.
Duck and cover.
Why do you want to go back to that? You had to have like food ration because you really thought the Soviet Union at the time, the USSR, was going to blow you to smithereens. How was that enjoyable?
Right. Absolutely. And I remember, we had all these drills all the time when I was in elementary school, and I lived in New Hampshire at the time. So I was right off the coast of Portsmouth was only 40 miles away. And that's where the Soviets were going to come off, and infiltrate us all. And we had these fallout shelters that were built with canned goods and things. I don't want to go back to that. I don't have any interest in that.
Not to mention, I'm a little bit addicted to this thing right here.
Yeah.
It's
your generation. Yeah. You grew up with it.
Yeah. I like knowing that if my car breaks down, all I got to do is make
Absolutely. Yes.
So, I'm like, I don't know how to go back to the 50s. Oh, and I also like, being able to eat at the lunch counter with friends that are different shades. That's neither here nor there. But
I remember asking my students one year who are freshmen in college. I said, okay, I want you to tell me, what if the electrical internet grid, basically the grids went down? What would you do? They're like, well, it wouldn't last very long. But the last time the grid went down, it was during it was in the 19th century, and it was the telegraph that went down, which was their way of communicating. And that was down for like 2-3 years, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but can you imagine if people have a fit if their internet is down? When Facebook was down, one whole day,
people lost
their minds. I know. Isn't that silly?
Cost billions of dollars. And I'm just like,
I know. But what do you feel about this, Adrian? Do you think that is or can be used as a way of control? In other words, it really is a way of control, and it's like religion can be, and it's like
I have an unpopular opinion.
Okay,
hear me out on this, y'all. Don't come for me in the chats. Just hear me through this. By trade and by education, I am a digital advertiser. So I get paid basically to control people. If you want to put it in those terms,
correct.
I make campaigns that makes people a certain demographic of people want to buy something.
Right.
I've studied this intensively to deep.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
I'm going to be Dr. Coleman because I have studied. Working on a PhD because I am fascinated.
Good for you.
Not how media controls people, but how we as humans allow it to control us.
Correct.
More about us. It doesn't say anything about Facebook when it went down. It says more about how we have allowed it. Because there are a lot of people who are like, it went down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't care. Some
people don't watch the news or any of that. They're not interested.
I think it's fascinating. So I think the more we are educated, the more that we are aware that we have just as much control in the media junket than we think we do. It only recycles if you're so sick about hearing about Trump on CNN, turn off CNN. Because what's going to happen is
the old GIGO, garbage in, garbage out, right? Yeah.
Well, what's going to happen from a financial standpoint, viewership is going to start to go down, which means advertising dollars start to go down, which means eventually they're going to have to change topics. Yes, I oversimplified it, but it really is kind of
it is pretty simple when you think about it. Yeah.
And so that's why I say, don't come at me, don't get mad at me. I do think we have to stop blaming the source or what we think is the source and actually redirect that. How much, if I'm in a bad mood, how much of that is because I allowed to control my mood?
Yep, absolutely.
Or my reaction, am I more in a bad mood because or the reaction I had to it? So I don't know. That's why I say I have because absolutely. I get paid to do that. I control, I get campaigns that control and influence buying patterns, but I also know it only works is if somebody actually allowed it to work.
Allows it. What I have the trouble with, and it's been forever really, is the kids that, Cartoon Saturdays, kids are always bombarded with all these toys and food and junky cereal and all that stuff. But the parents can control that. The kid doesn't have to, the kid can't, but the parent could. But this has been going on since TV and,
Your point. Like I was reading some of the transcripts from the Facebook whistleblower, and everybody's like, oh, and what they're doing to these teenage girls. I was like, it was no different than when I was in school in the late 80s or the 90s watching MTV and Britney Spears. It just mediums. That's all it did. It changed the vessel. So now it's social media. Years before this, it was TV. Cartoons, like you said, everybody was, and there was a study that said there's a man named George Gerbner who said children are going to think the world is violent because they watch
because they allowed to see it.
And they're going to have a horrible disassociation between a violent world and cartoons, and that has been proven horribly incorrect. And it's just like you've got to think about, it's always been that way. What was it before? It was magazines. It was, oh my God, World of the War.
I know.
There was something getting ready to happen. It was just Orson. His voice still to this day does something to me.
It's really funny. You probably don't know, you might not know this, but the Sears catalog, when I was growing up, everything, we were that's a big influencer when you're a kid. The Christmas catalog came out. Anyway, there was a guy that was in the catalog apparently that had either shorts on or underwear on. I don't know, because they have, do you want to buy these underwear? And apparently part of his anatomy was sticking out one side of and nobody knew it when they did that. And of course that was, oh my God, now the Sears catalog is pornographic, oh God.
Now OnlyFans, good Lord, they'd pass out now.
I know. Well, the Stanford prison experiment, I'm sure you're familiar with that, and some of the other things also show how heavily influenced we are, but what other people say and what other people think. And, it isn't new. It's been around for a long time. And yet what we're seeing is a lot of indoctrination at some of these rallies that are out there. And people they're just believing whatever it is that they hear, and they just do what they do. Because, it's like if somebody said to me, the president wants you to come to this rally, and somebody's going to pay you, because I think that really did happen. And if anything happens to you, don't worry, I'll bail you out. If anybody believes that would have ever happened, that they would, and you saw people go and said they weren't worried. They were not worried. And then all of a sudden, wow, he's not bailing me out now. But
Aley,
really,
what do you think is going to be the antidote to? Because cultism is real.
It is.
Cult of personality is real. Buying into whether it's a marketing cult, with you get your MLMs, right? Or cult of personality, which is Trump. Cult of religion. What is the do you think there is an antidote to this?
Somebody said in a reading, actually, and I don't remember who it was, that there will have to be indoctrination camps eventually. for these people that have been indoctrinated into this cultish place. It reminds me of when I was a kid, I would go to the theater on a Saturday to watch a cartoon or a movie, kid movie. And apparently what they were doing is they were doing subliminal messages to me and everybody else there. Go to the snack bar, go get some popcorn, and they found out they did that. And that had to be absolutely changed because of course, that's illegal. All this other stuff is illegal. I don't know. I'm just thinking, are there going to be like two different Americas? Is there going to, there has been though for a very long time, two different Americas, but I don't know. I was watching, I wasn't watching it. I saw a news clip because I wouldn't watch it. Trump speaking, and where was he? He was with Dingaling Grassley. I don't know what that was all about, really. That was really
Dingaling.
Oh, God. And, and all the people behind him going, yes, it was, you were robbed. It was rigged. And Chuck Grassley, ha, and he knows better than that. He knows. And, I'd like to find out what happened in between the time he said that Trump should never have had that insurrection until now, where he's endorsing him. And also coming back to see if he can be a senator again when he's like 80 and he was going to retire. It's just very strange.
Money. There's got the fight, because that was something that really my Gina pointed out, was that greed is so strong.
It is strong. Yeah. They're going to do anything they want to get it. It doesn't matter because it's the most important thing.
It's just, and it's just baffling maybe I'm just too simple. It's just baffling to me. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't, I think that most people there are people, I'm not trying to make this a negative thing because, even though it is a negative in a lot of ways, there's a lot of people here and a lot of people have, that just say the same thing. What the hell is going on? Why is this happening? But then there are people that have had children and relatives indoctrinated into the Moonies or some of these other places. And the only way they could get them out of there was to pretty much steal them away and put them in a place and have them, be. I have a personal story about a cult.
Okay.
And this is why I get really there's a part of me based off of this cult experience that does have a degree of empathy to certain Trump people who are deep into not the politicians but the average day human being who's in a cult. And here's how it happened to me. I have a very good friend that I trust, deep friend, we're sisters, who invited me to a retreat. I went to the retreat. Everything in my psychic beep, cuss words.
But you ignored it. Yeah, because you didn't want to see it. Yeah.
The night before, I'm talking to another friend. I'm like, I don't think I should go. She's like, you're just being weird because you got to share a room with a person you've never met. You're not. She attributed to me not stepping out of my comfort zone. No, it was a cult. And it was the scariest, freakiest thing. And that you were trapped on this compound all weekend. And had I not from the beginning met a man who worked at the facility, he wasn't part of the cult because they rented. Right. Who I made eye contact with the first day. And I walked up to him. Aley, I didn't even make it 4 years. It was hell. And I saw the tactics that they used. And I'm looking at my very good friend who I thought she's a PhD and an attorney, Buddhist, and has been a practicing Buddhist for years. So you've got these, and she's not one of the like hippy dippy in a tree, like just very peace and love, but also
I'm a Buddhist. I understand. Yeah,
being, when people hear Buddhist, they think we all just go sit under a tree.
Yeah, I know. No, we just love people. Yeah.
Okay. And to go, but I would have never guessed that she would be a part of something like this. And I escaped the cult. I got off the grounds. And I started looking at things very differently and how somebody that I respected so much could be in a cult. And it wasn't until she saw my experience and how I literally fled for my life. We talked about it months later. She's like, Adrian, was
wow.
You act like you fled for your life. And I said, because I did.
I did.
Did you not realize they woke you up every morning at 5 o'clock and kept us up until like 1 o'clock in the morning. We couldn't sleep deprivation. The food was horrific. We were forced to do these chants and these songs. And when you look up everything that defines a cult, it was all of it.
It was all there. Yeah.
Flash forward 2 years later, I'm watching Trump and I said, that's a cult. This man is building a cult. And so
you witnessed it in person and you knew for sure that's,
seeing this out. And what I want, and again, this is where this part of my empathy comes in, is like, I don't know if it's going to, like you said, it's going to take a miracle for them to even get out, if they even do get out.
If they can,
work it's going to take to get them out of that mindset. And is America too far gone? Because again, Biden, it wasn't like Biden, he won, but it wasn't this huge landslide.
Right.
The sucker still had 60,000, 70,000.
And a lot of people didn't vote at all. Yeah.
So that's the thing that I just think is that's why I asked, like, what is it going to take?
What is it going to take? Yeah.
We can get out of this.
The gaslighting is just unbelievable. I mean, and now that I've seen the gaslighting from this forum, I see it I see it in other places. And it really bothers me now. I didn't know that that's what it was at the time, but it's just, this is a really good explanation. Edison says, for some unexplainable reason, Trump fit the description of the Messiah they had been waiting for. So only his words are true. That's so true. So true. Because it reminds me of The Wizard of Oz, which is really one of my favorite movies. But when the wizard is behind the curtain, to pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, that he's just helping out or just doing that. But he was doing all the evil stuff, and then you look at him and you see he's just this old man, really.
Dude. It's just this old frail little dude with a Napoleon complex.
That's correct. Yeah.
It's just so, and Edison's, it's just so fascinating. We're watching it from when you can detach yourself and watch it. It's a very interesting case study.
It is.
Come back to human and go, this really sucks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And Chris is right here. The death by COVID and also the death by ivermectin, which I would never take for any reason. It's just a bunch of, I don't have worms, number one, but or let's inject bleach or and that kind of stuff. But
it's
well,
and what I think the thing that, and this is why I go back to cultism, guys, because there are trained medical professionals who still refuse.
I know
to believe in some of the science.
I know. Yeah. I remember there was a chiropractor in Florida that people were lined up so they wouldn't have to get the COVID vaccine. He was signing off for it, but that he has no authority to do that because he's a chiropractor. That's what my husband is. And I showed it to my husband and he said, that makes me so embarrassed for this, that this guy did this, that he signed out 250, medical excuses for not getting the vaccine or something. But, wow.
Nasty woman tarot. Yeah. Nincompoop complex.
Nincompoop is right. Sharon's got it. She's got it. She was saying earlier that in Canada, where she lives, the students, I guess, Sharon, is it the students or the parents try to, I don't have it right in front of me, but you kind of work against, here it is. We teach children critical thinking skills to counteract the garbage. Yes. And I know in the United States that this is done, but not until college, at least in my experience that I've seen, because I'm teaching my college students, what do you think about this? And they're like, what do you mean? What do I think? I just take tests and I just, no. There's something there. It's something else there.
It's very interesting. I've watched through because, it's funny how my family worked. There's exactly like 10 years between each generation. So like my sisters are Gen X. I am, there's a terminology for it and it's so disgusting. I'm a geriatric millennial. Whoever Gen Z came up with that, I hope you eat flaming hot Cheetos and drink sour milk at the same time. And I hope your colon reacts. That's
all boy, you don't need to be called Jerry. I don't even want to be called that. And I'm 66.
So being a geriatric millennial, even seeing it between my cousin, who's also millennial, in the 10 years between us, and then the 2 years after with my niece and nephew, there is a stark difference in how we were trained in school to critically think. My sisters, I look to them because I'm like, you have walked in the room and synthesized everything. Whatever you were taught for your critical thinking skills, impressive. My generation, they started teaching us to critically think, but to pass a test. My cousin's generation wasn't taught even critical thinking to pass a test. It was just
memorize.
To memorize. And then her answer to critical thinking is the moment somebody says something that doesn't feel right, I'm just going to assume everything's garbage. And you're like, no, that's not
right.
How that works. And then to look at my niece and nephew who were like,
yeah, you know, I hear the parents coming through the mouths of some of them, because all I hear about now is, oh, cancel culture this and cancel culture that. And I'm thinking cancel culture is not new. Never had, you know, I'm not saying I like it or that's great or anything, but it's not new. We've been canceled forever, you know. Yeah, it isn't just this new thing.
If you want a backhanded compliment to give to your college students, because I gave this to my niece, because she's another one who's like, oh, she was trying to be nice about it because she's a very sweet girl. She's like, you know, auntie, they call you geriatric millennial without missing a beat. I said, and they call your generation a Christopher Columbus generation, because stuff that has existed for eons, y'all think you discovered it. So like you were saying, they think cancel culture, it's not new. It's always been there.
No, it's always been there.
It's always been there.
I know. I was really impressed that President Biden proclaimed Indigenous Peoples Day, because we celebrate that out here in Washington State. We have a lot of Indigenous culture, but he was the first president to do that. And you know, and Deb Haaland is the interior. I mean, just so beautiful.
It
so
is
beautiful. Really.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, JR Luna. That was nice of you. I would love to, in this next period of time here with you, and I'm just loving this conversation, I have to tell you, it's so much fun.
I know.
I mean, even though it's not a happy subject, but all the time, but I'd love you to tell us about your chakra readings and your cards that you have, and how you is it that, like, for instance, if I said I wanted a chakra reading, you would pull and see what I need?
Let's talk about, do you mind being a guinea pig?
I don't mind. And then if anybody else wants to after, that's fine.
Let's do this. So how I pull with the chakra cards, just a couple of things is your ears, I'm getting immediately throat chakra. So let me talk about the chakra system. Most people know it's the energetic body, starts from your base of your spine, your root chakra, goes all the way up to the top of your head, which is your crown chakra. Right. At your base of your spine, like people can see where I'm pointing.
I'll just bounce around.
That is your root chakra, determined by the color red. It starts from birth, basically preconception. That is how you fit on this earth. How do you feel? Do you feel secure? It's also about finances. So think security, think finances. Also think family, tribe, whether it's your birth family or people that you've created in the community.
Yeah.
So community / family, finances, and security. Okay.
Yep.
Going up underneath your belly button is your sacral chakra, which is this beautiful orange color here. That is creativity, sexuality, sexual freedom, emotions. When somebody's like, oh, your sacral chakra is really activated, that's just a very polite way of either, saying you're being super emotional, put your emotions in check. Going up to your stomach, right at your navel area, is your solar plexus. This is your house of fire, which is why it's the color yellow. This is your house of action. What I love about solar plexus, it's just one thing: action.
Okay.
Do you take accountability? Somebody who's got a balanced solar plexus chakra has a lot of personal accountability. Somebody who has a very underdeveloped solar plexus chakra is a narcissist, like Trump. does not take personal accountability. Going up next in your chesticles area is your heart chakra, this beautiful green color. Think one thing, ability to give love and receive love. Can I give love without expecting anything in return? Or do I feel guilty when people love on me?
Oh.
A balanced heart chakra, it's a yin and yang, a give and take. Actually, I would call it more of a give and take. Okay.
Okay.
Next up, throat chakra is not only your throat, but also your ears, your ability to speak divine truth and also listen to divine truth.
Okay.
I tell people, and it's the color blue. I tell people a lot of times, sometimes you may need to speak more and less, which would sound weird, right? But that means they're having an issue with their throat chakra. They're having a hard time verbalizing their needs and their wants. Yes. Going up from your throat is this middle, your eyebrows, your third eye chakra. Everybody has psychic ability. Everybody on this earth has psychic ability. It is called intuition. Point blank period. It's right here, color purple. Can you receive and perceive messages from spirit? Here's a little cheat sheet I'm going to give everybody. When you have an issue with your third eye chakra, you're blocked, it's calcified. It's actually called a pineal gland. It can be calcified by junk food, not sleeping properly. When this is turned off and blocked, as some people say, I don't like to say blocked. They just say deficient or indeficient, overcharged, undercharged. When this is undercharged, when you are not being able to tune into your psychic ability, there's another chakra that ties to that, and that is your solar plexus chakra. Because think about it, gut instinct and third eye psychic ability. These two guys are usually out of whack. Never fails when I'm working on someone who's got a third eye issue, their solar plexus is out of whack too. They're acting on the messages they're getting. That psychic hit, they're not acting on it. Their gut instincts, they're not following that. Okay?
Yeah.
Last one is true purple color. That's now you can see where I'm pointing. Top of your crown chakra. This is your connection to spirit, your connection to soul, your connection to others. I always say root chakra is the me chakra. Do I feel secure? Do I feel safe? Do I have money? Crown chakra is the we chakra. How are we doing? How do I fit in with everyone?
Okay.
I think I did that in under 2 minutes. That's your crash.
That's amazing. That was really good too. Yeah.
Chakra system. I try to make it palpable because the moment people hear chakras, they're like, oh, and they tune out. Your energetic health is just as important as your physical health. Because all of those 7 chakras also correlate to body issues. If you've got sinus problems, that means your third eye chakra is having some issues. Okay. If you've got constant sore throat, constant clogged ears, guess where I pointed? That's your throat chakra. You need to listen more or you need to speak up more. Okay. Heartburn, breast cancer, heart failure, heart disease. That's all heart chakra. The ability to give and receive love. I have suffered from digestional issues my entire life. Solar plexus chakra. Okay. So, back problems. I have a client who's got horrible back problems and is also having problems with her children. Family, connection, root chakra, back problems. You can't tell me that these are connected. So, when people start talking physical, when you're talking about the chakra system, one of the first things I do is, where do I feel it in my body? With you, Aley, my ears started burning immediately. My ears were clogged. So I'm like, okay, there may be something with your throat chakra. Okay. But sometimes I will also pull cards to see what we get. And very interesting. That's interesting. Yep. Wow. Okay. Well, surprise. Presence. You are here. You are very tuned in right now. Yes, you're listening to me. So it's not like you're not listening to me, but really you're really listening to spirit. You're having spirit guide this conversation, which is why it's flowing so well and why you do so well on your channel. When you go, it's like the moment you go live, you are truly present. Everything else disappears and you are with spirit. And
because I love it so much. You're right.
That is a strength for you. So presence, crown chakra. There is also something that, this particular card is sexual energy, your sacral chakra. There's something here when you do this, this is good. So bear with the analogy. It is as thrilling as a sexual experience for some.
It's been the substitute for it. So
there's a true gratification. Also, with your sacral chakra, it is about gratification too. So there is something so divinely gratifying when you do this that makes your sacral chakra very balanced and healthy. You get joy out of doing it.
Wow, spot on. You're right.
I was shuffling cards and I stopped at 5 because I only pulled 5. I told you throat chakra. I feel it. Especially my right ear. It's like burning. It's very clogged right now. What are you doing?
It is clogged. It is.
An expression. There's something you need to. Okay. There's somebody you need something from, but you do not know how to say it.
Okay.
Or there's a little bit of a hesitation, or there may be an existing relationship where you may think they may know what you need, or you're going into this like, how do I express what I need? Because this may be a little different from what we're used to our usual exchange.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There's got to be some truth in that expression. You have to express it because they're not going to know. And this is something you're blocking. That's why my ears are burning. It's almost like, I hate to say a conversation you're dreading, but it's kind of like that. Like, how do I say what I need to say?
Okay.
So work on that throat chakra. Speak it. Go sing about something, whatever you can to start loosening that throat chakra, getting that throat chakra active so you can have that conversation.
Wow. That's fabulous. Oh, I love that. Oh, you're so good.
No.
I'm going to let you go ahead and do guinea pig. Cat Mama says she'll be a guinea pig.
Cat Mama. Okay, so this is going to be a little weird because I don't have you right here to
right.
But I'm going to do 2 chakra and an oracle, and let's see what we get for you, Cat Mama.
And this is so true. When the student's ready, everyone's saying they've needed this information. So our spirit knew that.
Hi, friend. Okay, let's see. Okay. See if this is what I get. Flinging cards. I knew it. Okay, that's what I was feeling.
I love her enthusiasm.
Okay. Because my undercarriage started burning, which is the area, what I call the area below my belly button, which everybody else would call their sacral chakra. So my sacral chakra started burning a little bit, and that does not surprise me because you did get a sacral chakra card. But what is all of this?
Oh my!
Magic Stream.
Wow.
Okay, so Cat Mama, here we go. There is a relationship in your life right now. There is somebody close to you with your relationships. You need to have compassion. They're either getting ready to go through something or they are going through something. And the help, the antidote, the pill that you have that you can give is some compassion. Because you may not be going through what they are exact scenario, but there is something you've gone through that can almost tie to what they're going through. You are going to be the one that can actually help this person through the situation. It's like a child. It's somebody pretty close. It's like a child or spouse or sibling. But it's somebody pretty close to you. Because what's going to happen is, and then also too, that's a relationship that may have not necessarily felt strained, but not felt as close lately. That is going to be showing that compassion. That's going to heal that relationship. So that's going to help. In Magic Stream, there is, because streams are about that flow, okay? That water sign. It could also be a water sign person too, by the way, with Magic Stream. But water flows, right? Like emotions, they're neither here nor there. It just continues to flow. This compassion needs to flow to build and maintain this relationship. So don't be surprised, Cat Mom, when somebody reaches out to you. It is a relationship that may have, because it may be like, oh, do I really want to answer the phone from this heifer? We haven't really been that close. Or she's getting on my nerves. Pause.
Be compassionate.
Because that's going to help with that relationship. Hope that helps. Hope that resonates.
Wow, that's great. Okay, guys, I got to ask. There's 2 more people that would love to have this done, but if we're at an hour, I don't know if how your energy is, Adrian.
I can do 2. I can do 1 more, 2 more very quickly. So
okay. All right. We'll go with the two then. Sharon from Nasty Women.
Okay.
And I believe that Marlene would like one as well.
Okay.
All right. So
we'll start with Sharon.
Sharon. Yeah. Oh, Joyce, I didn't see that. I'm sorry. We're going to have you come back. That's all there is to it.
And I'm going to have you come on.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to.
Grab and kick it and kiki and ha-ha.
Awesome.
My legs tingle. So let's see, Nasty Women. It could just be old age. Let's see. I already saw the color. I cheated. Okay, hold on. I saw it I saw it in the reflection of the computer. Hold on. Okay. Okay. And then let's see. That's very interesting. There is communication is key for you, Nasty Woman Tarot. There's something you also need to say. There's something you need to do. Throat chakra. Oh, because it's crippling. That's why my legs. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You need to communicate. There is a deficiency. Your throat chakra is actually undercharged right now. You need to communicate something. This is also something pretty big, not as big as Aley's, but this is something pretty big that you need to start expressing, because it could be a relationship. It could be, I'm getting like a business. There's something that you need to be very proactive about, because what's happening is with your solar plexus chakra, you not talking about it is actually starting to chip away at your personal power. That's why my legs feel like they're about to give out. It literally feels like it's going to it could be crumbling. And it always is when you feel like you have given up your personal power to something. Communication, you need to reassert your power through using your voice. What are you giving too much of your personal power to? Or whom are you giving too much of your personal power to? And it can be, getting it back can be as easy as setting a boundary by sometimes just saying no. No is a complete sentence. Work on that. When that's going down, don't get consumed by it. Ride the wave. Remember, emotions are neither here nor are. They're neither right nor wrong. They just are. Ride the wave while you are working through communicating whatever you need to communicate to reassert your personal power.
Sharon had said this earlier, and she said she's always had the throat chakra issues her whole life. But the other thing is that the name of their tarot channel, she and Lisa, Nasty Women, was a way of working through the speaking her truth or speaking. Yeah. That's so awesome.
Wow. And then the other person was Marie, right? Or Marlene?
It was Marlene. I'm sorry, guys, if I missed some of you. She can't do like everybody right now, but I know. I'm a horrible person when it comes to turning people down. I can't help it. But you gotta protect yourself.
I've always wanted to do this too. I keep going, one day I'm just gonna go live and just whoever wants like a quick chakra reading.
Absolutely. Yes.
So thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this.
Yes, I think that it's everybody would love it. And somebody said you look great without your hat on today.
Stepping into a new me. So there may be a few lesser hats. I did some
good. Getting more confident and branching out.
I just did something very drastic with my hair, so that's why my hair looks different. And
I understand.
So
it looks lovely. Looks great.
I'm embracing it, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Love thyself.
Marlene. What I need you to, Marlene, I want you to say this after me. I'm going to say this slowly, and I'm going to say it, and then I want you to repeat it. I am safe. I am secure. I live in abundance. Okay. You've got got a lot of root chakra going on right now with finances, instability, and security. There may be some financial things going on that are making you feel very unstable or little, at best, slightly nervous, a little worried, like Al and I were talking earlier. Mercury retrograde, this girl has been very expensive.
Been hard.
Way too much of my monies that I had been working so hard to save up. It is okay. What I want you to realize, I am safe, I am secure, and I live in abundance. All of my needs will be abundantly met. get through this retrograde. You will be okay. And you know why? Because again, with the movement card, this is temporary. Everything is temporary. Only thing that are permanent are taxes and death. Okay?
Yep.
I'm not saying this to mitigate any kind of financial insecurity or situation you're going through. Because again, from the person who just forked out thousands of dollars, I didn't even know I had to fork out. I get it. And it is scary. And it is incredibly stressful.
It is. It can be daunting. Yeah.
Very stressful. But the mantra you need to continue to repeat to yourself is, I am safe. I am secure. And my needs are abundantly met, because it's going to work itself out. There is something moving already to help you get through this situation. Everything's already in progress. You're going to get through it. The wheels are already in motion. If I had to equate it to tarot, I would say the 3 of Wands. It's already there. You're just waiting for that shift to come in.
All right. That sounds good, Marlene.
Yeah. Wow. Hang in. I know it's
hang in there.
I know that's. I hope it resonated. I hope that resonated.
So. Pamela Shin wants to be the info commercial for you today. She uses all your products and she loves you. And I love Pamela Shin. I believe everything she says, because she's a nurse, and she's a nurse, perfect, wonderful, wonderful woman.
And you're another one too that just hugs and kisses to you. You've always been so incredibly fantastic, and all of the support you've given me, I pray that is returned to you tenfold. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes. Everybody loves your energy, and I do too. I feel very connected to you, and
sister from another mister.
Sister from another mister. That's it, girlfriend. Yeah, it just took a few years between births. That's all. You know, I have a really dear friend who works with me, and she's about 36. And we will go get our nails done, and we'll have coffee and all that. And so I went into a nail salon one time, and I said, I'm waiting for my friend. And she said, what's her name? And I gave the name, because she was the one that made the appointment. And she looked at me and she goes, she's your friend? Because we're 30 years apart, And I said, yes, there are people that can be friends that aren't the same age,
All of my friends are like variety of ages, and most of my friends are not just older, like significantly older. Like when you said you had a 33 your son that's in like there's like, and that's why we're friends, because all of my friends are like, I have a kid your age. I'm like, what's that got to do with anything? You probably had your kid.
No, my daughter and my son, they aren't married. They don't want to get married. They don't want kids. They're just these, but they're well educated. And my daughter will be 44 this year, and my son's 37. So, yeah.
Right. Yep. I'm like really hyper now. Like now I need to go like take something to calm down. I've had so much cat snatching fun.
I have too. I have had it looks like the people in the chat really have enjoyed it. And I know your messages about the chakras and everything we talked about was fortuitous at the time. So thank you, madam. It was wonderful. So you didn't need to take the pep pills or whatever it is, or shots of caffeine. Now you're awake, right?
Now
everybody.
I'm going to have to like do something to calm down now, because I'm just
maybe but everybody's saying you should go live and do some of these chakra readings now that you've tried it, it works.
I'm like always like self-conscious. I'm like, nobody's gonna watch, nobody's gonna care.
I do some crazy videos sometimes with Jennifer, and Susan Lynn and Jennifer do this crazy video on Thursday night with a giggle and laugh about putting rocks in bras and all that stuff, and people love it.
Yeah.
You never know what people want,
Susan Lynn has has almost made me wet my pants during one of our ghost stories shows. They have come this close to like almost wetting my pants, because she cracks me up so much. Like,
she's very funny, and she's very, very good at what she does.
Fantastic.
Very good. Yeah.
Yes.
And Sherry says, yes, we will watch. So you've got some people that are there. And if no one shows up right away, just sit and relax for a while and do some riffing, All right. Thank you, dear. All right. And I'll hopefully be on your show real soon, everybody's, and I'll let you know when I am. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Adrian.
Thank you.